Hey, everybody. Welcome back to the Startup Sense podcast. This is your host, Jonah Lupton. Thank you so much for joining us today. As always, we're going to try to bring you a great episode. If you have any feedback or thoughts for me regarding the show, feel free to email me directly at jonahlupton@gmail.com. I look forward to hearing from you. So today's guest is Duy. His last name is a little harder to pronounce, so we'll just go with Duy for today. That's his first name. He is the solo founder of a company called Autonomous. The website is autonomous.ai. You'll see that in the intro or the show notes. Essentially, what they're doing is creating a bunch of different smart products, ergonomic products. So they have stools and chairs and desks. So I actually have one of their desks, and this desk is amazing. So it moves up and down. So it's completely motorized. So I can sit at it, where it's probably like a 36-inch height, or then it goes up to, I don't even know, 4 feet, 5 feet probably. So I can use that as a standing desk as well. And they have said that standing up during the day not only burns more calories, but it's better for your body than sitting and hunching all day. But we'll talk about all that in a second. The company is based in New York, but they have offices in 5 different cities, both the U.S., China, and Vietnam. The company's about 50 employees strong right now. They've raised a little bit of angel money. That was a few years back. They started the company in early 2014 and then began shipping product in September of 2015. Let's welcome Duy to the show. Duy, how are you, man?
Hey, Jonah, thank you for taking the time to have me here.
Absolutely, man. I appreciate your time as well. So talk to us about the company. I mentioned that you guys started this thing a few years back. What was your mission or what's the goal with this company?
Yeah, so our mission is actually very simple. We want to help people to work smarter. If you look at like our lifetime, most of us spend the majority of our time working, right? So like every day, anyone from like 9 to 5, you work from 18 to 65. We work a lot and we spend a lot of time in an office. But the amazing thing is that when you look into an office, there isn't a lot of innovation. There isn't a lot of new product in the past 10, even 20 or 30 years, right? Like if you look around your office today, everything is pretty much the same. A table is a table, a desk is a desk. And we just feel like this need to like reinvent this product one product at a time to help you work smarter. It's 2017, and it doesn't make sense to work on the same table with just 4 legs and a tabletop like 40 years ago. So that our mission is very, very simple. How can we reinvent the office? How can we build the office of the future through technologies? How can we inject AI, robotics, and things like that into basic object like table and chair around the office, things that you touch on, you work on 8 to 10 hours a day.
What was the first product that you guys came out with back in, you started working on in 2014 and that you started shipping in 2015?
So we the way that we work is pretty much kind of like a lab. We build a lot of prototypes. It's kind of like a math scientist lab, and we build like 10, 20 prototypes, and then we narrow down to 1 or 2 and launch them. The first successful launch is the SmartDesk. It's the sit-to-stand desk that help you to work standing or sitting throughout the day with a simple touch of a button. That's the first one we launched and shipped in 2015. Over the past 18 months, we have shipped to over 60 different countries over the world. We have more than 50,000 companies using our product today.
Wow.
And we just keep working on them and try to make it a more helpful, a better product for people to get their work done every day.
So I know you guys are vertically integrated, meaning you do the product development, you do the prototyping, you do the manufacturing, you do the shipping. So you guys control the entire process. All the profit margin is yours. You're not going through distributors and wholesalers, I don't think. So how are you guys getting your products into the hands of so many people and so many companies?
Well, certainly, I think our team believes that being vertically integrated is really, really important. And it's not about the profit margin, but it's more about having a better control, having a total control over the product, to help us to improve product quality, to help us to ship the product to customer faster, and it's just a lot easier to have everything in house. As for marketing, how do we get our products to people's hand? We spend very little on marketing. We spend very, very small in marketing, the number one vehicle for us for our growth so far is word of mouth. We have a lot of referrals. We have a lot of word of mouth customers coming to us. And I think it kind of makes sense because I think if we focus our energy on doing a really, really good products, people will talk to the other people.
Yeah, I mean, I have my office in my home office, and several people have seen it, or when they come over, I show it to them, and as soon as they see it moving up and down, they're like, "Oh my God, I need something like that." So, I mean, that's where the word of mouth comes into play. Is that
Yeah.
certainly that desk, and that's the only product of yours that I have, but it certainly speaks for itself. It's a very impressive, well-made, sturdy desk.
Yep.
So you guys ship those products all over the world. How big of a logistics nightmare is it dealing with shipping, to different
Yeah.
countries and imports? And I mean, these are things that a lot of us have never dealt with before. So maybe talk us through some of those pain points.
Yeah, I mean, we are still a very young company, Jonah. I mean, we shipped our product about 18 months ago, so we still like a little baby. And in the first year or the first 6 months, we screw up a lot of things. We screw up logistics. We screw up a lot, and we learned a lot through the hard way. But fast forward until today, I mean, we have how many warehouses now? We have 5 warehouses around the world right now. We have one in California, we have one in New York, one in Toronto, Canada, which we just launched this week. We have a warehouse in Europe, which we launched last month, and we have a warehouse in China.
Wow.
So over the past 18 months, it really, really helped us to look at our entire supply chain and see how can we optimize them from a technology perspective, right? Like, why would we want to put a warehouse in Canada? Why would we want to put a warehouse in China? Because when we look across our customer data, we want to put warehousing in a place that can get about to the customer as soon as possible, and also cut down the shipping costs. And even like tedious thing that we learned the hard way, like tax and duty, right? Like, for example, if you live in Canada, you buy a product from Autonomous, and in the past we ship from California, the customer had to deal with things like duty, tax, and paperwork and things like that. Now they don't have to deal with any of that. We ship directly from our warehouse in Toronto to them. It get a day or two, they get the products, and it's just seamless. It's just a much more pleasant experience for the customer.
So now, I mean, I'm on the website, and besides the desk that we've talked about, you guys have these chairs and stools. Looks like you have maybe something for a keyboard.
Mhm.
And you have these standing, I'm not even sure what they are, these little stands that look like they have iPads sitting on top of them.
Yeah,
So
yeah.
which of these products, what's been the order of the product releases?
So we actually are working on a couple of really, really exciting products to be released toward the holidays. Um, I cannot share what they are yet, but they are super, super exciting. The way we look at product is two things. One, the main product. The way we look at the main product is like things that you touch and use every day, right? Like desk. Like Jonah, how many hours do you sit at the desk a day? I mean, it's like 8 or 10 hours. It's a lot of time. The second product we work on is the chair, because everyone sits for a lot of hours throughout the day or the week. So the most important thing for us is how can we keep focusing on the product that people use a lot of touch point throughout the day, and work on them. So we launched a couple of new products in Q3 and Q4 toward that. And the second
Okay.
group, then the second group of the product are the accessories, like things like the anti-fatigue mat, the monitor arms, and the keyboard tray and things like that, to help you to complete the office experience. So that's how we look at two different group of products today.
How complicated is it running multiple offices? I've never had to do it personally. I've had a distributed team, with freelancers and developers in different parts of the world. But I mean, with warehouses and manufacturing and all this other stuff, how do you split up your time? How do you manage the people in all these offices around the world?
Well, I mean, as I mentioned earlier, we're still a little baby, right? We're 18 months, so we screw up a lot of things. I think working across the multi office is really interesting. I mean, that there are pros and cons, right? So 'cause, I mean, the communication is the biggest challenge, because you are on different time zones, you speak different languages, and you work across different cultures. But I think the benefit is that the input to our team, or I want to say, is so much more. you have people with different thought process. We had people with different culture, people with different background, and sometimes it's just really interesting to have that kind of organization. We live on Slack and Trello. We once in a while we had the team fly into a location together and work together. So actually 3 weeks ago, the team from New York, California, and China, all of us flew into Vietnam, and we work in Vietnam for the whole week to make our plan for the holiday, and then we do a little community retreat in Vietnam. So that's really helped for us to once in a while to get together and actually have a personal connection with the other team members. But from the business perspective, what I love the most is we cannot have a 24/7 operations. The company never sleeps. Like even if you go to a company at like 11 o'clock at night in Boston, you have someone in Vietnam pick up the email and answer you right away.
Right, right. So that is a perk, I guess. That is one of the benefits of having offices around the world, is that there's literally an employee always sitting at a desk somewhere working for your company.
Or standing at the desk.
Or standing at a desk, right? What are some of the the health facts or the science behind this? Because I mean, I've read about it before. I certainly don't have the stats handy right now, but there certainly has been a trend in the workplace to move more towards these standing desks. So what are the health benefits for the American workforce that, like you said, does spend 100 hours a week sitting at a desk? What's the perks of standing instead?
So I think so first we are actually doing a case study with a professor, which I think we will publish it sometime in around September, like an actual case study to show the benefits of using ergonomic products. But the way I look at it is actually pretty simple. I mean, most of us work a lot at the desk or as a chair, and at some point when you are 40, 50 or 60 years old, you're going to have a problem with your back, your wrist, and then things like that, right? So rather than wait until then upgrade to a better desk or a better chair, it's actually easier or better just to upgrade it now. I think it's really important to use the right desk and the right chair as early as possible to avoid those back pain and those issues early on, rather than fix the issue when you actually have them. But more specific numbers and performance and things like that, we will publish a case study in about 2 months with a professor on a study that we are doing.
Nice. Now, when you guys think about new product development, do you have a goal as to how often you want to release a new product, or what percentage of your sales goes into new product development or R&D? Like, how do you guys think about it?
So interesting. I don't think we have the answer for that, John. I think actually our goal is actually pretty simple. We actually kill a lot of products. We kill a lot of internal projects, and our goal actually pretty simple. If we launch a product that we don't think that we're gonna sell, or we're gonna have at least 10,000 users a year, then we kill it.
Okay. What's the process for vetting products? Meaning, you guys come up with an idea, you build a prototype. Like, do you do what are they called? Like a focus group, or do you let all the employees come in and play with it and take videos and send it to their family members? Like, what's your process for determining if there's really a market of 10,000 for it?
Yeah. So again, we are still a very young company, so I'm not gonna try to bullshit you. Back until like a month ago, we just get like, hey, this is cool, let's do it, right? And there's a couple of engineers hack it over the weekend and show it to the team. We try that, we like it. Hey, let's release to a few customers. So there's really no process. Up until a month ago, and with the size of the company that we have now, and with the customer base we have now, we begin to put in process. So we actually have a formal process now, from step one, the first 2 weeks, work on the concept of the products. The next 2 weeks, work on analyzing the market size to see the total available market size is big enough for it to spend resources toward building this product. And then the next 2 weeks is working on a very fast, quick prototype, kind of like a hackathon. It be something really, really quick. It doesn't have to be perfect, but it got to be working. It got to be demoable and demo it to the entire team. And then the team will evolve and feedback on it. And we feel like the market size is right, the demo is working, and there's potential here. Then we invest resources into actually build our production. And there's a few more steps, but I'm really glad that we actually have a formal process today in place so that we can be more focused and more disciplined about what to build.
But there's two business models out there, and I guess some companies even have a blend of the two, where they either sell direct to the customer or the consumer, or they go through distributors, wholesalers, and retailers. So why did you guys pick the first one? Sell direct to consumer instead of trying to go through the distributors and retailers.
So I think this model may change, but the reason we are entirely focused on to selling directly to consumer for now is back to the question about being vertical integrated. I mean, we want to have that authentic connection with our customer. Like if you want to order something from Autonomous, we want to have that relationship. And if you want a company grow and have 10, 15, 20 more people, we want to keep that personal connection with our customer. And to it, that's really important. I mean, if we can have our product into a retailer floor, you walk into a store, you look at the desk, I mean, you don't really know what it is, you try it out. It's just not a great experience. I mean, this is one of the reasons why we actually set up showrooms right now. So like if you're in New York, San Francisco, or Santa Monica, you actually can walk into one of the Autonomous showroom, sit down, try the desk, even like work at the desk for like an afternoon to feel what it's like to work at a standing desk. So for us, like making sure our customer experience right is really, really important. And this is one of the reasons why we've been saying no to a lot of the distribution partners.
Gotcha. Okay. No, I mean, that makes sense. I mean, I'm in the process right now of building a new company, and I had to make that decision. Do I want to sell direct to the client, or do I want to go through contractors and retailers and wholesalers? And I'm doing the exact same thing that you did. I mean, I'm going direct to the customer, because that's where I want to build the long-term relationship. I don't want to be dependent upon middleman and then have them take a piece of the cut after I spent all the money developing the product.
Yeah.
Talk to us about, you raised some angel money early on. Was that like a friends and family situation, or was it professional investors? And then why have you guys not raised any more capital since then?
So we raised money from some really, really good people who are really, really helpful and always be there when we need help. So we raised some money from a couple of angel investors like Dave Nemetz. He was the founder of Bleacher Report. Now he's running a really cool online publication called Inverse. We raised money from another investor, Dave McClure from 500 Startups, who has been very, very supportive to Autonomous in the past few years. So I mean, the reason we raise money from these angel investors is not just about the money at the beginning, but for the experiences and the guidance from them, and all of them has been amazing to our growth. Why we're not raising more money? I think it comes down to if we really need it, and right now the team feel like we don't really need additional capital right now. We try to build a very successful and profitable business, and we feel like we're on the right track. So for now, in the near foreseeable future, we don't see a need of additional capital.
Right. I mean, you certainly don't want to raise capital if you don't need to. There's no reason to give away more equity in the company if you're cash flow positive or close to cash flow positive.
Yeah.
Where would you say the investors have added the most value? It sounds like you guys have a great investor team already involved, that have scaled companies before, probably in the hardware, software space like you guys are in. So where are they adding the most value?
Oh, a lot. I mean, like we have one investor, his name is Daniel Blassingame, and he's a VP of sales at another tech company. So, I mean, I have no sales experience. So whenever I have a question, hey, Daniel, how do I do this, right? How do I get into this account? How do I build a sales team and things like that? I mean, he's there. He's just there and just kind of help me to walk through the process. We have another investor who is based in China. So when I wanted to learn more about the China market, I mean, I flew to China. He set up a ton of meeting for me with a lot of good people in China to learn as much as I can about the market. I mean, just about anything. I mean, these investors have been there, done that before. So they've been super, super helpful for us.
Awesome. In terms of recruiting, who are the hardest people to recruit in your opinion? Is it the engineers? Is it
Everyone.
salespeople? I know. And I mean, because the problem is when you want to find good people, those good people are already employed somewhere. So you have to pull them away from another company and convince them that, convince them of your vision and why they should join your team. So what's the secret recipe for being able to do that?
I mean, I don't know if we figured out yet, John. I'll be honest with you. I think I think at the end of the day, I think people is the hardest problem that a founder need to solve. And I think we are very fortunate to have a lot of good people joining our team. But as far as secret sauce, I don't have one. I mean, again, we just interview a lot. I talk to a lot of people and try to get to know them as much as we can before we make them the offer.
Do you have any special interview questions? Like some founders have like these one or two questions that they just love to throw into every interview to either trick someone or just kind of catch them off guard. Like, do you have any of those questions?
Not really. I guess. I mean, I think in our team, different people have different way of interviewing candidates. But one of the approach I use this technique just to ask the candidate to talk about a project that they loved the most in the past. So it doesn't have to be like the most successful project, but like something that they really fall in love in the past and they work day and night on that project, what it is, to understand like their passion and who they are. So that's the most important. That's the one question I find most helpful for me to understand the candidate within like an hour or two.
What have you made any big hiring mistakes?
Yes.
What,
But
what was the mistake, and like why did you hire them in the first place, and why was it not a good fit?
I'm not sure if it's a good idea to disclose this, but
you don't have to disclose it. I mean, if it's something like really private, I mean, certainly don't mention the person's name.
But I think at the end of the day, I mean, I think what a fun thing being a founder, and I'm sure you know this is it kind of like we kind of like in kindergarten school, we learn new things, we try new things, we fail and we learn upon it, and then we improve upon it. So I would treat the whole hiring process is kind of like it's a process.
Right.
I screw up a lot of things early on. I think I'm improving on it, and hopefully I will get better tomorrow.
I mean, it's impossible. I mean, I've yet to ever meet a founder or CEO that claimed to have 100% perfect score on hiring. You're going to make mistakes. You just hope that you can figure out the bad apples, as quickly as possible and get rid of them, before they screw up the company or screw up the culture. So it's definitely it's not a science or an art. I guess it's a little bit of both.
Yeah. You can take the bad apple and put into a better soil. Yeah.
Exactly. Exactly. What have been the biggest challenges for you overall? Whether it's hiring, raising capital, product development, shipping. I mean, there's probably a million different moving parts at your company. What was the one or two hardest things to overcome?
I think the hardest things for us, and I think like this came back to about 9 months ago. I mean, we are about 18 months old on the market, and we've been growing super fast. And the hardest thing was actually keep up with the growth and actually scale the team at the same time. And the biggest challenge with working in this type of business is it's just not like it's not just software. Like we have to scale every single department, like software, hardware, supply chain, warehousing, customer service. It's so hard because like if you just screw up like in one of those things, you screw up your whole business. So like the hard thing is actually scaling like this type of business is you kind of have to make everything is aligned and in sync and grow it at the same speed at the same time. And I think that's a hard challenge in this type of business.
Has there ever been a time where you were thinking, oh crap, we're growing too fast right now?
I think we did, but we just like remove the brake and keep going.
Right. Okay. I'm trying to think. I feel like I had a couple more questions I want to throw at you, but I guess that's pretty much it. I mean, nothing else is really coming to mind. What else did we skip over that you wanted a chance to mention? Whether it's lesson learned or what are some of the traits that you personally possess that you think make you a good founder?
I don't know if I'm a good founder. I think I'm trying to be a good founder. But I think one of the things that maybe set not just me, but I think the whole team DNA apart is that we are very obsessed with making our customer happy. And we work really hard toward that. So I mean, the whole team, like when we have issue, we would stay up the whole night try to figure issue across different departments. When we have a customer, like give you an example, like a few months ago, we have a customer in San Francisco bought a bunch of desks from us, and they thought that we provide assembly service. Like they thought that we would come in and assemble it for them, and there's a miscommunication between that company and our customer service rep in LA. And then the customer get really upset because like they said, hey, I have like 50 employees going to be here tomorrow, and if you guys don't assemble it, they have to be on the floor, right? So what we did is we flew one of our assembly guy from LA to San Francisco overnight. Like we take the first we bought a ticket, we fly the assembly guy to San Francisco, finish the job and fly back. It ended up costing a lot of money, but it just show the customer that it's our commitment to make sure that make sure they are happy. And so I think one thing that set us, I think maybe not set us apart. I think a lot of good companies gotta have this.
But when you're a small company, those are the things you have to do to really differentiate yourself.
Yeah. And so I think we are very upset with customer, and that's something that I think they share DNA across the team.
Do you guys sell on Amazon right now?
We try in the past. I think we still keep it up there, but we're not actively promoting it.
Yeah, right. Okay, it's not a big portion of the sales then.
Right.
And I mean, just to kind of go back on the whole customer acquisition marketing thing. I mean, I know you said you don't do a lot of marketing and advertising, but I mean, you guys must do some, whether it's SEO, whether it's content, email, Facebook ads, Instagram ads, outbound sales calls to companies. Like, which of those boxes do you guys check off?
All of them, sure.
Oh, okay.
But when I say we do very little marketing, is our marketing budgets compared to the total revenue is very small. But I think our team do all of those things. But we try to do it in the smart way, which you don't want to spend $100,000 on something just to do it. We try to be very smart with our budget. But at the end of the day, I mean, like if we have a choice between spend $1 million on marketing this month or $1 million toward product development or improving customer experience and improving product quality, we would pick the latter right away. Because we really believe that improving the product quality and improving the customer experience is the best way of marketing.
Are there any financial numbers that you can share with us? I mean, obviously, I know you guys are way past $1 million. Have you guys surpassed $10 million in total sales, or are you way past that too?
I can't share the exact number. We're way past that number. way past that number.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, I know you've only been at this for 18 months, so it's not like you guys have a long sales history. I mean, you're still a new company, but it sounds like things are going really well, and you keep coming out with new products.
Yeah.
When I think of other companies in this space, I mean, to be honest, no one really comes to mind. I know there's companies like Steelcase and other companies like that try to build like this trendy, modern, open workplace type of furniture. Do you guys see yourselves working with companies like that in the future, or being acquired by them, or just competing against them?
I think Steelcase is interesting, and there's a bunch of other ones like Herman Miller and a bunch of manufacturers. The way we look at them is that we don't see them as competitors because they are traditional furniture manufacturers. So they are furniture companies. We are not really a furniture company, and I think it's clearer over our product launches in the next few months. We are a tech furniture company, so we want to use things like AI and robotics and inject them into furniture products. So I mean, you can't really compare like a smart office desk to like a dumb office desk. It's apples to oranges. So we don't really look at them as competitors. I think. I don't know how. I mean, I'm sure they're big, but I'm not sure that the customer demographics. But our customer demographic is the millennials. I mean, people from 25 to 35. Most of them are highly educated, live in metropolitan cities. So I think we may have a very different demographics too. They may gear toward more like corporates and hospitals and a couple of other verticals. For us, we have a very specific niche of customer, and we are very happy with just serving them.
Like I will say, when I'm standing up at the smart desk, I feel more awake. I feel more productive.
Yeah.
There's definitely some, and I think I'm burning more calories too, and it's probably better on my lower back.
Yeah.
So I mean, it does make a sense from a lot of standpoints, and I think you're right. I think the millennials get that more. People that are entering the workplace, certainly like your young tech companies and startups, like they love stuff like this. Do you guys ever see yourselves getting into the treadmill desk? Like I've heard that that's kind of this thing now. It sounds a little crazy, but hey, I sort of get it.
Yeah, so we certainly have a lot of customers reach out to us and propose that feature. It is something we are considering.
Okay, cool. Well, when you get that in, let me know. I mean, you probably can't do much. I've heard they only go like 2 or 3 miles per hour, so it's not like you're really, getting the heart rate going and burning any significant calories. But I guess it's, at the end of the day, if you're going to spend 8 to 10 hours in front of your computer, doing work, you might as well get a little exercise out of it. So,
Yeah, yeah.
well, Dewey, that's pretty much all I got for you, man. I really want to thank you for coming on the show today and sharing all this great information with us. I encourage everyone to check out the website, autonomous.ai. And what's the best way for the audience to connect with you online? Do you have a blog or a website or social media?
Oh, you can just email me. It's founders@Autonomous AI. We publish our founder email on the site, so anyone can reach out to us anytime.
Okay, cool. Yeah, that's pretty cool. I like that. I might have to do that with my company too. Well, thank you so much, man. Like I said, I really appreciate the time today. Wish you guys the best moving forward and look forward to staying in touch.
Thank you for your time, Fiona.
You got it, man.
Bye.
Take care, man. Bye.
Yeah, bye.